After looking at how to combine sentences using relative clauses, now we're going to talk about how we can make sentences using relative clauses. As like the examples here, the first one, a teacher. A teacher is someone. Okay, who is that someone? What is so special about that someone? That is, a teacher is someone who teaches students. Okay, so now we're extending the meaning. We're going to talk about teachers. We're going to tell people using who, because who refers to that someone. That someone is a person. That's why we use who. To say that a teacher is someone who teaches students. Okay. Also look at the second example. A phone. A phone is a gadget. And then what is so special about the gadget here? What is special about the phone? It is a phone is a gadget which performs a lot of functions. And we use which here because a gadget is a thing. And when we refer to a thing, we use which. So a phone is a gadget which performs a lot of functions. The third example, a vegetarian. What is a vegetarian? A vegetarian is a person, okay, who does not eat meat. We use who to refer to a person is that because a person is a person, it's people, and that's why we use who to talk about that person. Okay, so a vegetarian is a person who does not eat meat. After looking at 3 examples, let's also look at the questions. Like number 1, a dictionary. Obviously, a dictionary is a book, and then a book which contains definitions of words. We use which here because a book is a thing. We use which to refer to a thing. That's why we have a dictionary is a book which contains definition of words. Number 2, a nurse, it's a person who, okay, let's continue. Let's try to finish the sentence. A nurse is a person who, say for example, who take care of patients. Okay, let's look at the sentence. We use who because a person, it's people, and that's why we use who to refer to it. Okay, so a nurse, it's a person who take care of patients. But sorry, there is still one thing wrong with the sentence. That is, we need to put is for takes. Because when we talk about who, when we have who here, it actually refers to a person. And as a person, it's a singular noun because it is singular. Okay, that's why who is also singular. What we do is that for singular nouns, we need to put an is for he, she, it. We need to put an is for the verb. That's why we have a nurse is a person who takes care of patients. Alright. Let's also look at number 3. Birds, we talk about birds. Birds are animals. For animals, of course, we use which. Okay, birds are animals which, say for example, which can fly. Okay, birds are animals which can fly. Very easy enough. And we'll also look at number 4, a prisoner. A prisoner is someone who are locked in a prison, in a jail. Okay, or maybe they have done something wrong. Say for example, a prisoner, it's a person. Because it's a person, we use who. It's a person who has done something wrong. A prisoner, it's a person who has done something wrong. We use who to refer to a person because it's people, it's a person, we use who. And next, the reason why we use has here, we use a singular form, it's that a person, it's singular, okay? That's why who, it's also a singular pronoun, is a singular relative pronoun, and that's why when we put have or has, we need to decide. That's why we put has, because it's he, she, it. So we put has for a person. Let's also look at one more example. A giraffe. A giraffe, say it's an animal. And then for animal, we're going to use which to refer to it. A giraffe is an animal which has a long neck. Okay? So which is to talk about an animal because it's a thing. And then we use has here instead of have. It's an animal, it's a singular noun. And that's why which, it's also singular. That's why we use has instead of have. Okay? And then for number 6, photographers. Photographers, it's let's say a person. And then for a person, we will use who. Okay, a photographer is a person who, and then takes good photos. Okay, so is it a correct answer? Let's look at the sentence again. Photographers, it's a person who takes good photos. Do you think there's something wrong with the sentence? If yes, what is wrong with it? We'll try to look at photographers. Now when we talk about photographers, it is a plural noun. So if it is plural, we have to change the it's to are, and then a person, of course, we have to change it to plural form, which is people. Okay, so is there still anything wrong with the sentence? Yes, it is to do with the text here. As just now we've talked about, we've just mentioned who here refers to people, as people is a plural form, who it's also plural. That's why for the verb here, there's no need to put in is. That's why the correct answer should be photographers are people who take good photos. Again, photographers are people who take good photos. Right? So students, next time when it's your turn, when you're trying to do some questions like that, please do pay attention to the noun, to the subject, or to the object here to say if it is a singular or plural. Okay? Next, number 7, a friend. Of course, a friend, it's a person. We use a person because we're only talking about one friend, our friend, okay? So our friend, it's a person who, say for example, a friend, it's a person who helps me a lot. Okay, a friend is a person who helps me a lot. We use who here to talk about a person. Because a person, it's a person or people, that's why we use who. And then we say helps, because a person, it's a singular form. That's why who is also singular. So that for the verb, we need to put an s. Now for number 8, we talk about an adjective. Of course, an adjective, it's a word. And then for a word, I'm going to use which because it's a thing. So an adjective, it's a word which describes a noun. Let's say an adjective, it's a word which describes a noun. Again, we use which here because a word is a thing. And then for describes, I put an is here because a word is a singular form. That's why which is also a singular form. It's also a singular pronoun. That's why for the verb, I need to put an is. So the answer, an adjective, it's a word which describes a noun.